Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today we're covering another Bitcoin miner. This time it's TeraWulf. So what I like about TeraWulf is that from a PR perspective, the amount of electricity it takes to mine Bitcoin and the whole emphasis around being net zero or ESG friendly. TeraWulf from a PR perspective is very good on this front. So their main site number one, is 91% zero carbon energy, and that's due to a combination of hydrogen and nuclear. And their second site is fully powered by nuclear, and that's 100% zero carbon energy. So it's kind of nice, not the most important thing for myself. So recently TeraWulf announced that they reached a hash rate of 5.5. So this puts it at the same level of its peers like Iris Energy and CleanSpark. Now, firstly, it's great to see that they achieved this because this was promised by TeraWulf's management, as stated here, having achieved 5.5 hash rate Bitcoin mining capacity as promised. That's from the CEO. So it's great to actually see that the CEO is delivering on the goals that they set for themselves and the stuff that they promised shareholders, because they did take on a lot of debt to achieve this. But furthermore, what I really like is the fact that the CEO is extremely focused on expansion and future growth. You can read his quotes right here. Firstly, he states that those two sites that they have, the ones that we covered, expansion potential here as a key characteristic. So they're really focused on growing TeraWulf's hash rate, and as we know, the more hash rate you have, the more Bitcoin you can mine. So it's really great to see that they're very much focused on growth. Again, here they reference again scalability and adaptability are vital, and we look forward to now setting our sights on future growth. So that's great to see, and that's very important because of the following fact. So if you guys are not following Anthony Power, I would highly suggest you do. He puts out some great information on the mining stock. Here he's mentioning, or this table is displaying how much it costs per Bitcoin, how much it costs for the mining companies to mine those. And this is extremely important because we have the halving coming up. So what that basically means is that if a Bitcoin mining company A mines 100 Bitcoins a month, that's actually going to be cut down to only 50. So there's two aspects to this. One is the hash rate. You have to improve your hash rate so you at least keep producing the same amount of Bitcoin that you're producing today after the halving. And the second one is really your gross margin and how much it costs you to produce that Bitcoin. So the reason I like TeraWulf is because it's the lowest. In this chart, it comes up at number one. It costs them around $8,400 to mine one Bitcoin, and that gives them a gross margin of 72%. So that's amazing. And of course, this fluctuates depending on the price of Bitcoin. So currently Bitcoin is at 30. So the gross margins are amazing. This is really where the huge leverage to Bitcoin comes from. These mining stocks leverage just go through the absolute roof once Bitcoin starts to climb. Yeah, we can see CleanSpark comes in at number 5 and Iris Energy comes in at number 7. And again, as we mentioned, the hash rates between them are quite similar at the present moment. So it's pretty interesting to see that TeraWulf is much more cost effective than the other two. So those are the two reasons why I'm really liking TeraWulf. Yeah, and before we close off, of course, we have to mention that TeraWulf does have a lot of debt. So it may have the ace in the sleeve compared to its peers regarding how much it costs them to mine Bitcoin. But at the same time, it has a lot of debt, which the other companies do not. As you can see, they have around $138.5 million of debt. To be honest, for me, right, currently that's not too problematic just because of how well Bitcoin is doing. I can see this being quite problematic if we see Bitcoin drop and stay at a much depressed levels for a much longer time. Then I can really see the idea of the debt becoming a much bigger issue. Right now, the gross margins are so good. They're mining so much Bitcoin that they can really service the debt. And finally, we'll end on a positive. Both the Chief Executive Officer and the Chief Operating Officer both have around 2.5 million shares of stock in TeraWulf. So their cost average is around $1.05. So in my opinion, if you're in around this region, you're in with the big boys, you're in with the insiders, and they seem to believe in the company and they're really also performing well. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Again, not investment advice, just what I'm doing and what I think. Yeah, I'd like to hear your opinion too, so feel free to comment below.